Hello, good morning. Welcome in to another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is the 11th day of December, year of our Lord 2025. We have Mr. Hudson in here. I am in here as well. My name is Dom. And it is Thursday. It is a beautiful Thursday. The snow is covering the ground. Huddie probably still hasn't got any snow, but it's
I
winter.
haven't.
It's winter, and we're here on time this morning. Hopefully, so we can get out of here on time as well. Got a webinar at 9:15 with the 4-leaf and black clovers. So looking forward to that. Do some little live trading out of the open, assuming Urbit doesn't get destroyed here while we're live. We'll have something to talk about out of the gate. As far as the rest of the small cap market, I don't see too much out there. I'm sure something will pop up throughout the morning, but not a ton out there right now. We got Simon in here, Drummer Max, Ergen Kanoski, Warren, no thanks, Mash for Fun, Wayne, Joe. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing? Let us know over there in the live chat. Hit that thumbs up button for us, and then let us know either how you're doing, how your month's going, what your mindset's like. Let us know something. Give us a little bit of insight. And as always, you can post, ticker questions, other stuff that we're not going to talk about throughout the show, as we will dissect the biggest gappers in small cap land this morning. And I think we have a couple. I think we have at least one. We got one that's really big, one that's kind of lower, but is going to be talked about. And so we'll hit those, talk a little bit about dilution, a little bit about the catalyst, why they're up, and talk about the daily charts. Halmi says, good morning. I loved yesterday's Juice Wednesday. We appreciate it. You guys can always, if you're busy around, a bad Wednesday for you, you can always go check those out. They're kind of podcast form in terms of it's just us talking, and there's not a lot of charts or anything like that. So you can just listen to it while you're driving or something if you miss one by going over to our main page over here on YouTube and clicking playlist and then going to Wine Wednesday, and you can see all of them that have ever been recorded. So for those of you that didn't know, now you know. AZ trades crypto saying BTTC. We will get to that. That is the biggest gapper of the day, up 200% right now. So we will talk through that one. Joe says locates are nuts on that one. We'll see here. Huddie, happy Thursday.
Yeah. Happy Thursday.
How are you?
I'm sick.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So we're still here. That's kind of the beautiful thing about stock trading. I don't want to talk that much. That's kind of the beautiful thing about stock trading is like there's no sick days. You can still roll over and show up to the market as long as you're like getting a full night's of sleep. I think is the most important. So here we are, still here. Pretty easy. But don't feel good. Didn't want to come on camera today, that's for sure.
Oh, you don't get that option. If I'm on here with poison ivy on my face, you're going to be on here when you're a little bit cold.
You have poison ivy in your face?
I did in the summer. Why are people saying no sound, but they just started saying it? Let's see if can anyone else hear us?
That's wild.
All the boxes are moving. You know, in OBS when you can go.
If I hear you, it's crazy that they can't.
We hear each other, and I find it odd that no one would have said anything till like 4 or 5 minutes in. Wayne says we're good. Other people say we're good. All right. Maybe turn your speakers on. Now someone says sound is weird. Everything says excellent. Everything's good. It says keeps cutting out. We're going to go with it. If it sucks, I'm sorry, tune out for the day. But it says excellent connection. It says 0 drop frames. So I'm not sure how it could be bad. But we're going to roll with it. What do you say we just get into it, Huddie? Do you have anything you want to say as we go into the second half of the week? I know you're a second half team type of player.
Am I?
Well, maybe you're not.
No, but happy to see some volatility in small cap, right? Like Urbit, I guess, is like if you're not watching IRBT and you're trading small cap, I don't know what you're watching. A nice breakout from yesterday and had some nice movement last week and into this week. So a pretty obvious one to keep an eye on. Finally, not some piece of crap Chinese low float scam ticker that I have to force myself to trade. So happy about that. And yeah, I'll just keep doing business as usual. I don't really have much to say. My brain's like half off.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the biggest gapper of the day. Couple already. BTTC. Let's go to the tracker of dilution. Black Titan. That's a cool name. Oh, this one's fresh over the past, since 8:30, so past 20, 30 minutes here. Incredible move from the 3s to the 11s. What you say, we talk about it, Huddie. 2.44 million float of biotech. Low across the board. They got cash. I don't see any dilution. All their stuff is withdrawn. They got some older stuff at much higher prices. So you check on the dilution, make sure that I'm right in saying I don't see much. And let's go to the news. 29 minutes ago, when that big spike started, they introduced DAT and releases first pillar focused on utility-driven digital asset participation. A couple words in there that are hard to say after each other. Is that have we ever heard it called DAT plus, Digital Asset Treasury?
No, not that I know of.
So give it an acronym to it.
That's fun.
It says they will release a series of press announcements throughout the day, each highlighting one of the core pillars of the DAT Plus strategy. Is this a new thing? I saw this. Remember we brought this up a couple weeks ago where that company, it's right around Thanksgiving, I think, did like 8 press releases every 30 minutes. Is this like the same? Is this going to be a new strategy to keep your stock up throughout the day? Is we're going to tell you we're going to release the PRs every hour or so that way you can continue to, and they're talking like it's going to be like, it's like entertainment. Like, we're going to do all the pillars one at a time for you. And it's exciting stuff. So they give us pillar 1 here, but we won't know any of the other pillars till later in the day. So we'll have to keep on watch for that. Did you find any dilution interest too?
No.
No. Okay. Let's go to the chart. Like I said, pretty fresh, pretty new PR here. One of many to come, ideally today. 350 to the 11s, higher lows the entire way, kind of breaking that trend right now and curling off further from the highs than we've been with 30 minutes to go till the open. This is a fresh stock, or, I saw PRs that looked to be a lot longer ago then. There's stuff way longer. Maybe they're an uplist, or I don't know how you immediately check for that. Is there something you can check for that quickly? But my chart, does your chart go back, I guess, further than the past few months? Or is that just me?
It looks like it was something. It's like a merger of some sort. It used to be TTNP, now it's this stock.
Okay. All right. What are your initial thoughts here? We have whatever this day here from the 5s to the 40s. I don't really remember that. The volume is quite light, 3 million. Since then, just been beaten in the ground. This looks like a fresh stock to me in terms of what we can see on this daily.
Looks like a fresh stock to me. Sorry, go
one
on.
of those things where there's a lot of range between where we are and the highs, and there's nothing really in between. So one that I guess I wouldn't be all that shocked if it ran a little bit further. It's up 200%, but 13, 14, 15, I don't think sounds that insane. And I wouldn't be surprised with it being up 200% if this kind of fades off, even into the open here. It's been a pretty straight up spike, and opening in the 6, 7, 8 area, I don't think is that wild either. So I just don't have a lot of thoughts. There's not a lot of behavioral history to kind of go over here.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me more.
I'm sick, bro. Leave me alone.
I'm sick too. I told you about my phlegm this morning.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like a fresh chart. It looks like there's room to run. It looks like there's no dilution. I still think it's a piece of crap and probably going to fade, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ran. Like, I completely agree with what you said.
Is this something that you will probably be watching out of the gate, though, with it being up as much as it is?
Yeah. I'm actually right now reserving shares for both, or for for it.
Were the borrows as expensive as people were explaining?
Expensive is subjective to the person looking at the borrows. They're not cheap. They're not expensive.
Okay. Yeah, there's not a ton of extra. I know this is up 200%. It's a big move in stock right now. It's going to be fluctuating here over the next 30 minutes because of how quick that spike was, I think. Wouldn't even be all that surprised if it faded quite a bit off of those highs. But I'm not a professional day one gapper, know what it's going to do person. The only history we have is that on this day right here, it did have a big green day. It still closed off its highs, but the spike was so big that it was still able to have a pretty big bodied candle. I think the best way to put this is how we've put this. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I won't be putting my money towards it, but will I check it later in the day and see if it's still on scanners, if it's doing massive volume, $6, $7, $8 stock doing 20 million in 30 minutes in pre-market, I think is pretty big. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see this 50 to 100 mil by the end of the day, but we'll see what the price action looks like in the meantime. Your next biggest gapper is not up quite that much, but is up 80%, kind of both in that 8 to 10 price range. AXIL. Let me make sure that we're working with here. AXIL Brands, Consumer Electronics, a 3 million float. Another one that looks low across the board. 4 hours ago at 5 a.m., the company was up early talking about their national retail distribution agreement with Walmart. Let me just go back a little further and see if I've seen this PR before. 4 months ago, they announced a major national retail partnership. Okay, what did I say they were? Consumer electronics. It's a key strategic milestone. Is Walmart the world's largest retailer?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Probably is.
Good for Sam Walton, huh? You ever read his book?
No.
I think it's called like Made in America or something. It's a really good book.
I think his wife or his daughter owns one of the football teams.
I'm sure. I think it was Arkansas where they started it. But I don't think there's an Arkansas team, is there?
I'm just happy you know who owns Walmart. That's crazy to me.
Are they one of the Magnificent Seven or no?
No.
Oh my gosh. World's biggest retailer can't get in there? But
No.
Tesla, who doesn't do anything, can get in there?
Yeah.
Wow. Hard day to figure out some things. But this is Axel Brands. Do they have any sort of dilution risk? Do you see? Because I don't see any.
I didn't see any either when I checked briefly.
Okay. Take a look at the chart. Already looks to have the coloration and the shape of a gap and crap. Looks like, yeah, at 5 a.m. it was significantly higher than we are right now, up in the 14s. Pretty big gap, like a 200% gap right out of the gate, and then really significantly off those highs, already $6 off of the pre-market highs, and looks to be just fading. But still is up 82%. Let's go back on this daily chart and see what we can find. Another one with literally no history. You have basically stock starting at 14 and a base of like the $3 area, and we've spent the majority of this year bouncing between the lows and like $11, and we don't really have any volume. Most days are 5 to 10K in volume, and so far today we've already done 12.7 million. Definitely fits the genetic makeup of a chart that we look at. Generally, these type of companies aren't like cash flow positive and low across the board when it comes to dilution, but they're doing something with Walmart, and they are up 83%. Does this one interest you more or less than the BTTC?
This one is less. I'm less interested. I mean, I figure I could be interested in both pretty equally. Like, I really don't have an opinion either way. But I don't like that AXIL is on the ScamX. Like, it's an Amex listed exchange, at least what my scanner says, and what I'm seeing on the level 2. My data doesn't incorporate those, so I just don't really know. So there's a little bit of a gray area there. And then it doesn't really look like it's trading that much volume. Like I much prefer liquid stocks, right? So like, some of these illiquid stocks that are like, have wide spreads and aren't really trading much. I feel like they dip and then they can like hold the base sideways and then start halting up to the upside. Doesn't mean it's going to do that, but it always just kind of is a fear of mine. So I like more volume. I like people chasing stocks like that. That's always the best because then they all get bagged and I take their profits.
All right. Those are your two biggest gappers of the day, AXIL, BTTC. Others in the room or in the chat saying that it's the old TTNP. Is that what you said?
One of them is, yeah. I don't know which one.
BTTC, and they're saying it's like a serial diluter. Serial diluter. That's putting a lot of. That's saying they do it quite often, right? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for us. Got 30 likes. Let's see if we can't get it to 40. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you are, thumbs up for you. That's awesome to see. Go grab 2 people and get them signed up as well. It's free. It's easy. You won't even know what happens once you click it, but you'll hear me be really happy about it. And that's, you guys want to make me happy, right? Because it would make me really happy if we got to 10,000 subscribers. To be a part of a YouTube channel, YouTube's the only social media, if you even call it that I watch or whatever. To know that we have a channel that has double digits, or is it double digits? 10,000 subscribers. I feel like we'd be cool. Wouldn't you agree, Huddie? I think that would make us pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually had a friend look at my YouTube channel last night, and they were like, "You're almost cool. You're not quite cool. You're almost cool."
See, it's the differentiators, that 10K. Okay. Let's see. It's a treasury. Crypto makes everything hot, someone says. Someone says they were trying to tell back. Is DAT a ticker? Or DAT is a strategy? I don't know. SMX did that. Maybe SMX was the one, the constant press release one. That would make sense if it was the week of Thanksgiving. Well, we should be expecting it today with BTTC. Jerry says, best month so far since I started being consistent. So the last 6 months, it's like a dream for me to be able to make an average of 500 to 1,500 a week. And in my country, the minimum wage is 1,000. I'm guessing 1,000 an hour is quite good. That's awesome. They also go on to say, thanks to you, Dom. I've been following you, Kyle and Huddie as well, since you guys first appeared on the Sykes channel, and you've always been inspiration. Thank you for that. Hey, appreciate it. Love hearing stories like that. Love that you're figuring it out. Trading's one of those funny things where no one two journeys look the same, and someone might get it in 10 months, someone might get it in 2 years, but the whole point is that we get it at some point. We're all created a little bit differently in our minds, and if we want to really do this and put our heads down and figure it out, it is going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time, and usually the main kicker is a whole lot of discipline. And once we finally kick ourselves in the butt and force ourselves to be disciplined, all the knowledge that we've been acquiring finally starts to show itself. That's why you kind of hear me talk down on myself. I'll even throw Huddie into the pile every now and then. I don't think Huddie's the smartest guy in the room either when it comes to trading. We kind of own that role together. Believe it or not, I don't even think Kyle is. I think Kyle is much more of a systematic type of just big daily charts, click buttons with big size and move on. It really all comes down to discipline. Can you do what you say you're going to do? Can you follow rules? Can you listen to yourself and what you say you're going to do? And when you start doing that, that's usually when you get profitable. It's not because you hit some level. You hit level 7 on your studying and you start knowing more. Time about what we know and what we don't know. But it usually just comes down to creating a profitable system. That starts in the discipline department. But congratulations, Jerry. Nice to see someone out there succeeding. Is BDRX on your watch list? You're not going to get my watch list unless you're 3 or 4 leaf. I don't even know what this is. Have you seen this? It is not on my watch list. No, it looks like has had a couple random 15-ish million days that spike or top out in the $9 area. I'd have to look into it more, but this is just not the type of shape that I'm looking for to buy on. I think it is like a double top in the 9 area. So maybe going forward, if it's back up there on big volume, you could call it a breakout. But
does that not look horrible to you?
This looks, I don't like it when I really like daily charts that are just like really, really, when you're studying
Are you seeing
Kwamagi.
December 9th? Do you see what that candle is? Is that
The
just,
death
did
drop,
you not see
right?
that?
750 down to 4
on 900,000 shares? Like, there's no predictability behind this daily chart. Like, this is a horrible action.
It gives me
like,
no insight on what it's going to do.
Yeah, like even if it got to 9, like I wouldn't want to trade something that can just lose all of its volume and drop 80% for no reason the next day. Like what? What are we looking at? Like, come on.
I always tell people this. I'm like, you can like, and this kind of goes off the conversation we had yesterday, which is like people wanting to do it their way, and their way can be the right. If you have an edge on this, take the edge. I'm not against that. What I'm saying is like there are charts out there where you don't have to be that smart, where you can just click the buy button, be immediately up on your position, and then hold for like a day. And there are others where it's like they're constantly, which is why I've really gotten annoyed with Urbit. Like when you look at it 1,000-foot view, it's not that bad. But in the moment, it's kind of like it's never really away from my average. And if you had a better average, you're probably thinking differently, but I only know my life. There are just plays that are easier than others. And I don't really want to insert myself into something that I would not feel comfortable being in. And a stock that has a range of 4 to 9 over 3 days, and we'll call that consolidation, doesn't look all that easy. I don't want to win. Like my goal isn't to like beat the stock. My goal is to make the easiest money I possibly can. A couple people have mentioned CETX, so we'll wrap it up after this and get to the webinar. Asking about, is it a first green day?
No.
Does it fit reversal criteria? Because it was only like a 200% move. And then I just prefer to not buy first green days on stocks that didn't have a clean run. Like this was something that Huddie is probably, I'm sorry about that, looking at and going, what a great
gross one.
Oh man, I can't talk about it, don't clear it. Just this phenomenal gap and crapper into day 2. And that kind of tells me, yeah, I did a lot of volume up there, but like who really made money on the long side besides pre-market that didn't exit? And shorts have had time to cover. They've had time to win, whether it was on day 1, day 2, day 3. So for those reasons, I think it's very possible that this could bounce. But what, did it just do something? I feel like it just like get smacked, like an offering or something. I don't know. But the answer is no for me. Reversals suck right now, and I only want to play the best of the best of them. All right, 9:15. We're going to head on over to the room. We're going to head on over to the webinar, me and Huddie. Are you ready to rock, Huddie?
Yeah.
For those who are about to rock, I salute you. Have a wonderful day, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to wrap up the week. It's going to be amazing, going to be awesome because we're all going to be there. 8:45 a.m. Let's get there on time. Let's have a nice show, and let's have a great day. So let's close out the week strong, just like Huddie. Second half performance. They had us in the first half. We're going to get them in the second. Have a wonderful day, everybody.